Sit for a moment. Do not try to fix anything. Do not try to improve yourself. Just notice that you are here. Zen teachings often begin not with answers, but with seeing. Before we talk about worry, we must first learn how to look at it, gently, honestly, without judgment. Worry is not the enemy, but attachment to worry is. What is worried, really? Most people think worry is a problem-solving tool. They say, if I worry, I am being responsible. If I worry, I am preparing. If I worry, I care. But look closely. True problem-solving is calm. Worry is restless. Problem-solving is present. Worry lives in imagined futures. Zen does not ask us to stop thinking. It asks us to notice how we think. Worry is the mind repeating the same question without listening for an answer. The illusion created by worry. Worry creates an illusion. The illusion is this: if I keep worrying, I can control what has not happened yet. But the future has never asked for our permission. We worry about things that may never happen, reactions we cannot control, outcomes that depend on many conditions. Zen teachings remind us reality happens only now. When the mind leaves now and clings to what if, it lives in illusion. Why we become attached to worry? Attachment to worry feels familiar. For many people, worry has been present since childhood. It became a habit, a background noise, a false sense of safety. Worry says, stay alert, do not relax, something bad might happen. Over time, we confuse tension with care. Zen points out something subtle. We do not cling to worry because it feels good. We cling because it feels known. The mind prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar peace. Worry as a form of identity. Some people no longer say, I feel worried. They say, I am a worrier. This is where the trap deepens. When worry becomes identity, letting go feels like losing oneself. Zen practice invites a gentle question. Who is worrying? When you look carefully, you do not find a solid self, only thoughts appearing and disappearing. You are not worry. You are aware of noticing it. The body knows before the mind. Zen pays attention to the body. Before worry becomes a story, it appears as sensation. Tight chest, shallow breath, heavy stomach, tense shoulders. The body lives in the present. The mind lives in imagination. When we ignore the body, the mind runs freely. Mindfulness begins with returning to sensation, breath, posture, feeling. This is not spiritual. It is practical. Why fighting worry makes it stronger. Many people try to get rid of worry. They argue with it, suppress it, distract themselves. Zen says, what you resist persists. Worrying feeds on struggle. When you fight worry, you say, this should not be here. But the moment had already arrived. Mindfulness does not push worry away. It invites it into awareness without giving it power. Seeing thoughts as weather. Zen often uses simple metaphors. Thoughts are like clouds. Worry is a storm cloud. You do not chase clouds. You do not argue with the sky. You watch. When you watch without attachment, clouds move. When you identify with the storm, you believe the sky is broken. But the sky was never damaged. The present moment is not the problem. Notice something important. When you worry, look at this exact moment. Are you safe right now? Are you breathing? Are you alive? Most suffering does not come from the present. It comes from imagined futures. Zen returns us again and again to this truth. Now is often simpler than the mind says it is. Mindfulness as breaking the cycle. Mindfulness is not positive thinking. It is clear seeing. When worry appears, mindfulness says, I see you. Not, go away. Not, you are wrong. Just, I see you. This simple recognition breaks the cycle. Worry needs unconsciousness to survive. Awareness is like light. The space between thought and belief. A thought arises. What if everything fails? Most people immediately believe it. Zen practice creates space. Thought, pause, awareness. In that pause, freedom appears. You realize this is a thought, not a prophecy. Learning to rest in not knowing. Worry demands certainty. Zen teaches comfort with uncertainty. Life has always been uncertain. We just forget when things go smoothly. Peace does not come from knowing. It comes from trusting awareness. When you stop demanding answers, the mind relaxes. A simple reflection. Right now, can you let this moment be enough? No fixing, no predicting, no worrying ahead. Just this breath. Just this sound. Just this presence. This is where the cycle begins to break. Worry is not a mistake. It is a misunderstanding. Attachment to worry keeps us trapped in stories that feel real but are not happening. Mindfulness does not destroy worry. It reveals its true size. And in that seeing, illusion loosens its grip. Worry lives in time, not in reality. Zen teachers often say something very simple. Life happens now. Worry happens in time. When you look closely, worry is never about this exact moment. It is about what happened before, what might happen later. Worry moves constantly between past and future, but it avoids the present. The present moment is too simple for worry, so the mind leaves it. How the past feeds worry. The past becomes fuel for worry when we replay it without understanding. We remember mistakes, regrets, words we wish we had not said, chances we think we missed. Then the mind says, because this happened before, it will happen again. But Zen reminds us, the past is memory. Memory is thought. Thought is not reality. You cannot step into yesterday. You can only think about it. Yet, worry treats memory as proof. The future is an imagination, not a place. The future feels real because the mind rehearses it. We imagine failure, rejection, loss, embarrassment. The body reacts as if it is already happening. Heart beats faster, breath becomes shallow. But Zen asks a quiet question. Where is the future right now? You cannot touch it. You cannot stand inside it. You can only imagine it. Worry mistakes imagination for truth. Why the mind escapes the present. The present moment is often neutral. It is not dramatic. It is not extreme. For a restless mind, neutrality feels uncomfortable. Worry creates intensity. Intensity feels like meaning. So the mind chooses to worry over stillness. Zen practice retrains the mind to feel safe in simplicity. Awareness stops time travel. When you become aware of your breath, time slows. When you feel your feet on the ground, time softens. Awareness anchors you here. Zen does not fight time, it steps out of it. The present moment does not need to be improved, it needs to be noticed. Everyday example: worry about money. Many people worry about money. They imagine, what if I do not have enough? What if something goes wrong? Zen does not say money is unimportant. It says worry does not create security. You can plan calmly. You can act wisely. But worry adds nothing useful. Planning happens in clarity. Worry happens in fear. One helps, the other exhausts. Everyday example: worry about relationships. We worry, what if they leave? What if they change? What if I am not enough? But relationships exist now. Worry creates distance. Presence creates connection. Zen teaches, when you are fully present, you listen better. You respond kindlier. You suffer less. Worry imagines loss before it arrives and suffers twice. How worry pretends to protect us. Worry has a voice that sounds caring. It says, if I worry, I am being responsible. If I worry, I will be ready. But Zen gently exposes this illusion. True readiness is calm. True responsibility is clear. A tense mind misses obvious solutions. Worry promises safety but delivers fatigue. The difference between thought and reality. Zen practice is not about stopping thought. It is about not believing every thought. A thought appears, I cannot handle this. Is it true? Or is it just a passing mental event? Zen trains us to see thoughts like sounds passing through a room. You hear them, but you do not follow them. Learning to sit with uncertainty. Uncertainty makes worry uncomfortable. Zen makes uncertainty familiar. When you stop demanding answers, the mind relaxes. Not knowing is not failure, it is honesty. Life has never been fully predictable. We only pretend when things go well. Small pauses, big freedom. You do not need long meditation sessions. Zen values small pauses. Before reacting, pause. Before answering, breathe. Before worrying further, feel the body. These pauses interrupt the cycle. Worry cannot survive interruption. Awareness turns problems into experiences. When you are aware, a problem becomes an experience. An experience can be met. A problem feels endless. Zen shifts us from resistance to presence. You are not late for peace. Many people think, I should have figured this out earlier. This is another form of worry. Zen does not care about timelines. Awareness begins whenever you notice. Now it is not late. Now is always available. A simple Zen reflection. Right now, notice one sound. Do not name it. Do not judge it. Just listen. In that listening, where is worried? It fades when it is not fed. Worrying feeds on past and future. Awareness lives in now. You do not need to solve your whole life. You only need to be here. The moment you return, illusion weakens. The cycle loosens. The emotional hook of worry. Worry is not only a habit of thought, it is also an emotional habit. Many people believe they worry because they are weak. Zen sees it differently. We cling to worry because it feels protective. Worry says, Stay alert. Do not relax. Do not trust too much. Underneath worry is fear, and underneath fear is the wish to be safe. Zen does not judge this wish. It simply asks us to see it clearly. Fear is natural. Attachment is optional. Fear is part of being human. If a loud sound appears, the body reacts. If danger is real, fear protects us. But worry is fear without immediacy. It is fear stretched across time. Zen teaches that fear becomes suffering only when we attach to it. Attachment means replaying it, feeding it, believing it defines us. Fear itself is just energy in the body. Attachment turns it into a story. How worry becomes a habit of control. When life feels uncertain, the mind looks for something to hold. Worry becomes a substitute for control. It feels better to worry than to admit, "I do not know." Zen points out a quiet truth. Control is mostly imagined. Even when things go well, it was never full control, only favorable conditions. Letting go of worry means letting go of the illusion of control. This can feel frightening at first, but it is deeply freeing. The hidden belief behind worry. If you listen carefully, worry often carries this belief: if I let go, something bad will happen. Zen gently asks, has worry actually prevented bad things, or has it only added suffering? Most people discover that life happens whether they worry or not. The difference is how tired they are when it does. Mindfulness meets fear without running. Mindfulness does not argue with fear, it meets it. When fear appears, mindfulness says, "Let me feel this." Instead of running into thought, we stay with sensation, the tightness, the heat, the trembling. When fear is felt directly, without story, it often softens. Fear wants attention, not analysis. Staying with the body. Zen brings us back to the body again and again. The body does not lie. It does not exaggerate. It lives only in now. When worry appears, feel your breath. Feel the ground. Feel the weight of your body. This is not avoidance, it is grounding. The body anchors us when the mind wants to escape. Why mindfulness feels uncomfortable at first. Many people say, "I tried mindfulness, but it made me more anxious." This is common. Why? Because mindfulness removes distraction. When distraction fades, what was hidden becomes visible. Zen says, this is not a problem. This is honesty. When you sit with discomfort without trying to fix it, you learn that you can survive it. Fear loses authority when it is no longer avoided. Worry as a learned pattern. No one is born worrying. We learn it, we copy it, we absorb it from parents, from society, from survival experiences. Zen reminds us what is learned can be unlearned, not by force, but by awareness. Each time you notice worry without following it, the pattern weakens. The gentle power of naming. A simple Zen-inspired practice. When worry appears, quietly say, "Worry is here." Not, "I am worried," not, "This is bad," just, "Worry is here." This small shift separates awareness from identity. You are no longer inside worried, you are observing it. Letting fear be incomplete. Worry wants a full story. It wants an ending, a conclusion, a disaster. Mindfulness interrupts the story before it completes itself. You notice the beginning and refuse to write the ending. This breaks the habit. Trust is not blind faith. Zen does not ask you to believe everything will be fine. It asks you to trust awareness. Whatever arises, you will meet it as it comes. This trust is quiet. It grows slowly. It replaces worry with presence. Everyday example: waiting for bad news. When waiting for news, the mind imagines the worst. Zen practice: return to what is actually happening. Right now, you are breathing, you are sitting. The news has not arrived. You are suffering from imagination, not reality. When the moment arrives, you will respond then. Suffering in advance is unnecessary. The courage to relax. Relaxation can feel dangerous to someone used to worry. Zen sees relaxation as courage. It takes courage to stop bracing, to stop tightening, to trust the moment. Relaxation is not carelessness, it is confidence in awareness. A simple reflection. Notice right now. Is your body tense? You do not need to change it. Just notice. Awareness itself is already easing the grip. Worry is not a failure. It is a habit shaped by fear. Mindfulness does not remove fear. It removes the illusion that fear controls you. When you stop feeding worry, it returns to what truly is: a passing experience, not a prison. Returning to ordinary life. Zen is not meant only for quiet rooms or meditation cushions. Its real purpose is to transform ordinary life. Worry does not usually appear in silence. It appears while living, when you wake up in the morning, when you check your phone, when you speak with others, when plans do not go as expected. This is where mindfulness matters most, not in perfect moments, but in imperfect ones. How worry shapes our daily reactions. Before mindfulness, many reactions happen automatically. Something goes wrong, the body tightens, the mind creates a story, worry takes over. We may speak sharply, withdraw, overthink, blame ourselves or others. Zen teaches us to slow this chain down, not to become passive, but to become conscious. Between stimulus and reaction, there is a small space. Mindfulness lives in that space. Seeing the first moment of worry. Worry does not begin as a big storm. It begins as a small signal, a thought, a sensation, a subtle tightening. Zen practice trains us to notice early. When worry is small, it is easier to meet. When ignored, it grows. Awareness is like turning on a light before the room becomes dark. Pausing without fixing. One of the most radical Zen practices is pausing without fixing. When something uncomfortable appears, the habit is to immediately solve, explain, or escape. Zen says, pause first. Not to find an answer, not to calm yourself, just to be present. This pause interrupts the old pattern. Often, worry weakens when it is not rushed. Trusting the intelligence of awareness. Worry believes, if I stop thinking, I will fail. Zen reveals a deeper intelligence. Awareness knows how to respond when the time comes. You have handled difficulties before, not because you worried perfectly, but because you adapted. Trust does not mean nothing will go wrong. It means you will meet what comes with clarity. Living one situation at a time. Worry multiplies life. It turns one situation into 10 imagined problems. Zen simplifies life again. One breath at a time, one conversation at a time, one task at a time. You do not need to solve your whole future today. This moment is already enough work. Everyday example: a difficult conversation. Before a conversation, worry imagines outcomes. They will judge me. I will say the wrong thing. A Zen approach: return to the body. Return to listening. When you are present, words come more naturally. Presence responds, worry rehearses. Most conversations suffer not from lack of preparation, but from lack of presence. How mindfulness changes time. Worry compresses time. Everything feels urgent. Mindfulness expands over time. There is room to breathe. When you slow down internally, external pressure loses power. Zen teaches that calm is not slowness, it is precision. Learning to stay with discomfort. One reason worry dominates is because we fear discomfort. Zen gently trains us to stay. Stay with uncertainty. Stay with unease. Stay with not knowing. When you stop running, you discover something surprising. Discomfort changes. It moves. It does not stay forever. Worry exaggerates permanence. Mindfulness reveals movement. Letting go of the need to be certain. Certainty feels safe, but it is often an illusion. Zen invites us into a different safety: flexibility. When you do not demand certainty, you become adaptable. Life flows. You adjust. This is not weakness, it is resilience. Mindfulness in small moments. Zen is found in small moments: washing your hands, drinking tea, walking from one room to another. These moments ground us. They remind the nervous system, we are here, we are safe. Small moments, practiced often, reshape the mind. When worry returns, because it will, Zen does not promise the end of worry forever. It promises a new relationship with it. Worry may return. That is okay. The difference is, you notice sooner. You believe it less. You recover faster. Progress in Zen is not elimination. It is freedom. Living without constant self-monitoring. Worry often turns inward. Am I doing enough? Am I good enough? Zen redirects attention outward, to life as it unfolds. When you stop monitoring yourself constantly, energy returns. Life feels lighter. Trusting silence. Silence can feel uncomfortable for a worried mind. Zen treats silence as medicine. In silence, the mind resets. You remember that you do not need to fill every gap with thought. Silence teaches rest. A deeper kind of trust. Zen trust is quiet. It does not announce itself. It does not argue. It simply stays present. This trust grows each time you face a moment without running into worry. Over time, confidence replaces tension. Living without borrowed suffering. Worry often borrows suffering from the future. Zen refuses to borrow. When suffering arrives, it will be met. Until then, life is allowed to be simple. A longer reflection. Right now, notice your breath. Not to change it, just to feel it. Notice the space around you, the sounds, the stillness. Ask gently, what am I worrying about that is not happening now? Then let that question dissolve. You do not need an answer. How mindfulness becomes a way of life. At first, mindfulness is something you practice. Later, it becomes how you live. You listen more. You rush less. You react less. You trust more. Life does not become perfect, but it becomes workable. Attachment to worry keeps us trapped in imagined futures. Mindfulness opens the door back to what is real. Again and again, we returned. Not because we are weak, but because returning is wisdom. Peace is not found by escaping worry, but by seeing through it. And when illusion fades, life becomes simpler than we thought, coming to the end without ending. In Zen, an ending is never truly an ending. It is only a pause before life continues in another form. So this final reflection is not a conclusion, it is an invitation to live differently, not perfectly, but more honestly. Seeing the whole pattern clearly. Now let us look back gently. We saw that worry lives in imagined time. Attachment makes worry feel necessary. Fear hides beneath control. Mindfulness breaks the cycle by returning us to now. But Zen asks one more question. What happens when we stop building our life around worry? Who are you without worry? Many people have never met themselves without worry. Worry has been their motivator, their protector, their identity. So when worry loosens, there can be a strange emptiness. Zen does not rush to fill it, it allows space. In that space, something unexpected appears. Clarity, simplicity, aliveness. You discover that you are not a bundle of problems to manage, but a living presence responding to life. The illusion of a problem-filled life. Worry makes life feel like a constant emergency. One problem ends, another immediately replaces it. Zen reveals a quiet truth. Life is not one lone problem, it is a series of moments. Some moments require action, some require patience, some require rest. Worry flattens everything into urgency. Mindfulness restores proportion, letting life be as it is. Zen is radical in its simplicity. It does not ask for life to be different. It asks us to stop arguing about it. Rain falls, plans change, people disappoint, bodies age. None of this is personal. Worry personalizes everything. Zen depersonalizes experience. This does not make life cold, it makes it workable. From managing life to meeting life. Worry tries to manage life in advance. Zen meets life as it arrives. This shift changes everything. You stop living ahead of yourself. You stop rehearsing disaster. You stop exhausting your energy before action is needed. You become available to what is real. Mindfulness as deep listening. Mindfulness is not watching life from a distance, it is intimate listening. Listening to the body's signals, the tone beneath words, the quiet messages of fatigue and joy. When you listen deeply, you act more wisely. Worry shouts, mindfulness listens. Living without borrowed identity. Worry often borrows identities, the anxious one, the responsible one, the one who must hold everything together. Zen gently puts these identities down. You are not required to be a character. You are allowed to be a human being. This is a deep relief. Trusting the rhythm of life. Life has rhythm, effort and rest, connection and solitude, movement and stillness. Worry disrupts rhythm. It demands constant tension. Zen restores rhythm. When you trust rhythm, you stop forcing it. You learn when to act and when to wait. The maturity of not knowing. Zen honors not knowing. Not knowing keeps the mind open. It prevents arrogance. It allows learning. Worry pretends to know the worst. Zen admits uncertainty. This admission is strength, not weakness. How compassion naturally grows. When worry loosens, compassion expands. You see others are also afraid, also uncertain, also trying. Judgment softens, patience increases. This is not moral effort, it is natural understanding. Living with fewer mental conversations. Worry creates endless internal dialogue. Zen quiets the room. Life becomes more direct. See, feel, respond. You stop narrating everything. You start living it. The freedom of enough. At some point, you realize something simple. This moment is enough to be alive. Not perfect, not complete, but real. Worry always asks for more certainty. Zen rests in enough. When life still hurts. Zen is not denial. Pain still comes. Loss still comes. The difference is, you do not add imaginary suffering on top of real pain. You feel what is here, no more, no less. This is compassion for yourself. A long, quiet reflection. Take a slow breath. Notice where you are. Notice the simplicity of being here. Ask gently, what if I do not need to solve my life right now? Let that question open space. You are allowed to live without constant explanation. The path that continues. Zen is not a destination, it is a way of walking. You will forget, you will worry again, and you will return. Returning is the practice. Each return weakens illusion. Each return strengthens trust. Worry promised protection, but it delivered exhaustion. Mindfulness offers no promises, only presence. And presence turns out to be enough. You do not need to escape life. You only need to meet it without illusion. This is the quiet freedom Zen points toward. Not dramatic, not perfect, but real. May you learn to rest without guilt. May you face uncertainty without fear. May you live simply, clearly, and kindly. And when worry returns, may you see it, smile gently, and come back home to now.